is responsible for this mess?
It was an accident, Your Majesty.
Accidents are unacceptable. Clean it up now!
In the peaceful hills of Algo village, the palace buzzed with discipline, beauty, and strict tradition. At its heart was Crown Prince Uche, the pride of the kingdom, handsome, wise, brave, and everything a future king should be. Among the palace slaves was a quiet girl named Ijeoma, humble, innocent, hardworking, and blessed with a softness that calmed anyone who came near her. She swept the palace halls with grace, carried firewood without complaint, and always wore a shy smile. One morning, Uche found her singing gently while fetching water. Her voice, soft like morning breeze, touched something deep inside him. For the first time, the prince stood still, watching her with admiration he could not explain. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to secret glances. And glances turned to stolen moments under the moonlit mango tree behind the palace. Before long, the forbidden love blossomed. But love is never simple in a palace. Queen Nenna discovered them one evening. Her voice shook the walls. Uche, a slave, the crown prince of Algu defiling his blood, with a commoner. Her anger was nothing compared to the king's disappointment. Uche was already betrothed to Princess Adaeze of the powerful Umunze kingdom, a spoiled, arrogant princess who insulted the palace guards, never lifted a finger to work, boasted of her father's wealth, and treated even Uche with disrespect. But the king didn't care. The alliance was political. It meant security and power. So the king thundered, Uche, you will marry Princess Adaeze or you will lose your right to the throne. Ijeoma, terrified, begged Uche to let her go, but fate had already played its hand. Ijeoma discovered she was pregnant. Fear swallowed her whole. When the news reached the palace, chaos erupted. The king and queen stormed her family's compound that same night. They threatened them. Your daughter must never come near the palace again. She has brought shame to royalty. And so Ijeoma left the palace in tears, carrying Uche's unborn children. Under royal pressure, Uche married Adaeze, though his heart wasn't there. Through the years, their marriage became a battlefield. Adaeze was barren and blamed everyone but herself. She insulted Uche daily, threw tantrums like a child, treated the palace staff like animals. Uche was trapped and miserable. Then tragedy struck. After 4 years, King Obidike died. Prince Uche became King Uche of Awo Kingdom. But now, as the king, he no longer feared anyone, not even tradition. The first thing he did after his coronation was return to the village to find Ijeoma. But when he arrived at her parents' house, the air was heavy with sorrow. He learned the truth. Ijeoma had died during childbirth. She gave birth to twins, a boy and girl named Joseph and Josephine. Her parents wept as they told the story, and Uche broke down for the first time in his life. Though they resented him, they could not stop him. He was the king. So he took the twins to the palace. Uche hoped Adaeze would accept the children innocently. But instead, she hated them. She denied them food, insulted them daily, made them sleep on mats, called them bastards of a slave, punished them for things they didn't do. Uche was often away for royal duties, and whenever he returned, Adaeze pretended to love the children. By the time Joseph and Josephine turned 15, they had grown used to suffering, but the gods had been watching. One night, Adaeze fell ill, a strange sickness no healer could explain. She screamed in pain. Her body twisted. Her voice cracked like burning wood. Some whispered that Ijeoma's spirit returned for justice. Others said the ancestors were angry. Within days, Adaeze died mysteriously. Peace settled in the palace for the first time. and King Uche vowed to raise Joseph and Josephine with all the love he once wished he had given Ijeoma. After Adaeze's mysterious death, the palace became strangely quiet, almost too quiet. For the first time, King Uche began to see things he never noticed before. One evening, while sorting old palace scrolls, he overheard two guards whispering, "My king does not know half of what those twins suffered. If he discovers, he will burn this palace down." His Guche's heart tightened that night. He summoned the palace maid who had served Adaeze closely. Terrified, she fell to her knees and confessed everything. The twins were often denied food unless Adaeze permitted it. She forced them to clean the palace like slaves. She called them the cursed children of that slave girl. And worst of all, Joseph and Josephine had been sneaking out twice every week to eat at their grandparents' house because they were starving, but Adaeze found out. When Ijeoma's parents came to complain, Adaeze blocked them from seeing Uche, ordered the guards to beat them, and warned, "If you come near this gate again, I will jail you till you rot." They returned home in shame, never telling anyone, for fear of the queen's wrath. When Uche heard all this, he broke down in tears. For the first time in years, he felt the deep sting of failure. Failure as a father, failure as a king, failure as a man. He remembered Ijeoma's smile, her innocence, her love, and he knew he had failed her too. The next morning, Uche rode with his guards to Ijeoma's parents' house. They were shocked to see him, afraid, unsure of why he came. But Uche knelt before them, a king kneeling before common villagers. "Forgive me. I failed your daughter. I failed your grandchildren. And I failed you." Tears filled their eyes. Then Uche ordered they would be moved to a new beautiful apartment in the village center. They would receive monthly food supplies from the royal storehouse. They were assigned 2 palace servants to help with chores for the rest of their lives, and no harm would ever come to them under his reign. The entire village praised him for his humility. Back at the palace, Uche called Joseph and Josephine. The twins trembled, thinking they had done something wrong, but instead, Uche drew them close and said, "My children, forgive me. Forgive me for not seeing your pain. Forgive me for trusting a wicked queen. From today, you will know the love I should have given you from the beginning." From that day forward, the twins lived like true royalty. They received tutors, proper meals, and the love of a father rediscovering his heart. Uche visited their grandparents often, honoring Ijeoma's memory. The palace that once echoed with suffering slowly became a home filled with healing. And the story of King Uche, Ijeoma, and the twins ended with a proverb whispered across Augu village. When the truth finally walks into daylight, even the shadows bow in shame. Or, as the elders say, the child who is denied love at home will find the road, but the road will always lead the father back to his guilt. But in Augu, they remember Uche for one thing. He lost the woman he loved, but he spent the rest of his life honoring her through the children she left behind.